Hey, Capricorn, Mel, Intuitive Coach here, excited to bring in your September 2025 monthly reading. All right, Cap, let's dive in and open up your energy field and take a look at what September has in store for you. Bottom of the deck, we have Heart's Desire. This is about opening your heart towards expansion, towards love and happiness and joy. Perhaps there's been something in your life that has felt restricting. And I've been talking a lot about the difference between intuition and fear, because oftentimes I get asked, is this my intuition or is this my fear? How do I know the difference? And something that I had heard a while ago that resonated was fear feels more restricted, where intuition feels more expansive. And that's what I see here happening for you in the month of September is you're leaning into your intuitive awareness. You may have gone through a period of pause or a period of delay, because I see the Hanged Man showing up here, and it feels like you are opening your heart up towards forgiveness for some of you, towards acceptance or even understanding of your own heart or perhaps the heart of another. So let's dive in here, Capricorn, and take a look at the key themes that are popping up for you. You have here mending. And you see that there is a picture of a heart with blue flowers next to it. This is about addressing the cracks in the foundation. Perhaps the foundation here of a story that is played out for you, maybe even expectations or grievances. Some of you, perhaps there's been anger. Now, I'm also getting heart health. Okay, you have heart's desire and the fact that the heart's showing up. Some of you may have even had some physical manifestations in this heart region, or perhaps September holds significance. You may have a loved one that has crossed over and maybe they had a heart condition, or the heart had come up in some way that can connect you with them. Now, mending, though, is actually a beautiful energy because as you can see, the first phrase, Capricorn, it says coming together. So there is a situation that you have gone through that had caused a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety, maybe even restlessness, lost sleep, tossing and turning. I feel like that energy here is working through you at this time and actually bringing you towards a new beginning, towards a result that feels quite positive. It feels quite significant here because you do have the milestone. And when this shows up, it tells me that there's going to be a reward here or a victory after gone through something that's felt very difficult. Some of you may have even gone through surgery. This could be surgery to repair. I'm getting lower extremities, but even sacral energy is coming through. So perhaps the stomach on down. Maybe you've had knee replacement surgery or your hips or your back, or there has been an issue that you have struggled with. And there could be surgery, recovery, PT happening. And for others of you, this is psychic surgery, meaning that during your sleep state, there's a lot going on, a lot of processing, a lot of DNA and cellular upgrades that are taking shape. And I see here that many of you are healing from old wounds. Now, these could be current wounds, but many of you, these are old wounds around dishonesty or deception. And Capricorn, I feel like you have done a lot of healing and mending and repairing, and you may be someone who is a guide or a guiding light to others. You may share your story or your experiences in some way, maybe even professionally. But for many of you, I feel like you are choosing to heal a pattern or a cycle or something that has wounded you and maybe even kept that heart of yours on lockdown, because there's something you are releasing and it feels like it's significant. It feels like this is a big deal. And what are we moving into with the milestone? You have adventure. This is the outcome energy of the month ahead, but also the next chapter of your life. Exciting times ahead, Capricorn. This is new opportunities in front of you, a spiritual quest, if you will. So this is the inner world starting to manifest and show up in the outer world, because some of you have gone through these entanglements, if you will. And I see that there could be a move for some of you, a relocation in the near future. And for others of you, this could also be travel, a change in scenery, a change in perspective that helps you open up, helps you expand in ways that you'd felt restricted prior. So adventure ahead. And I see that some of you could even be achieving a big accomplishment. Perhaps your life got pulled in a different direction and you had to put this accomplishment or put this opportunity on the back burner. Some of you may have even had to take care of a loved one or a family member, or maybe you've had children of your own and that had taken precedence over some other form of achievement that you were working. But I see here that there's a win, there's a victory on both of these cards, Capricorn. Their hands are in the air. And it's like, all right, we've surrendered. I've surrendered here. Now I get to open up to this possibility. The world is my oyster. And that's what I get here for you. The world is your oyster. So diving into heart's desire here at the bottom of the deck, this is about passion projects. Some of you are reawakening a spark within. This is your creative spark, your flow. This may even be a project around the home, or it could be something that you have been wanting to heal within your own self, maybe feeling better physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. You're making decisions here from the heart space, paying attention to your own heart health, maybe even that of another. But I feel ultimately this is a love for what you do. It's a love for the life that you are creating in your world, the people that you spend your time with, the interactions that you have between others. This is a love for your career. This is a love of self. And I feel like the heart here has gone through a lot. You've gone through a lot of disappointment. I keep getting the energy of lies. Oh, this is why. Because you have the Seven of Swords showing up here. Yeah, there's been some form of deception, or perhaps you feel like you've had to hold back a part of yourself in order to be seen, or hold back a part of yourself in order to be seen in a light that was beneficial for someone else. That's what I mean by that. It feels like you may have had to shy back or hold back certain parts of yourself, which that's not always great, because then we're walking on eggshells. Then we're not truly able to show up in our authenticity. We're not able to fully show up as all of us. And I see that has caused a lot of stress. It's caused a lot of tension here and heart issues or heart energies here. You may be forgiving, perhaps forgiving yourself, or forgiving that experience, or forgiving another for the deception, but you're not forgetting, but you're forgiving. And there's a difference. So let's take a look here at your tarot. You have the Nine of Swords. This is the energy of fear. So for many of you Capricorns, you may have been stuck in this cycle of feeling like your intuition was suppressed, not feeling like you could hear it fully, because when that fear comes in, like I've mentioned, it's loud. And I see here that throughout the month of September, you are moving more into that intuitive awareness, because you have the High Priestess right next to the Nine of Swords. Now, nines are about completions. You are at the end of this heartache, this hardship that you've endured, this restlessness, something that you've lost sleep over. Maybe literally your sleep was affected, and you may be coming up with solutions. There's victory here. There's accomplishments and achievements that are that are being celebrated as you fully embrace your intuitive knowing. Now, I also see here with the High Priestess, again, it feels like a secretive energy of some sort. If this is you, drop it below. Let me know if trust has been an issue for you, or if there have been maybe secrets that have come out into the open and they've wounded, they've hurt, but I feel like they've also liberated. They've also freed. They freed someone, but it's caused you to maybe put some boundaries up around the heart. And there's a difference between boundaries and walls. Boundaries are for ourselves, for others. Boundaries are an act of self-love, but walls are built when we are enduring pain. Walls are built to keep everybody out, including our own energies, and it blocks the flow. And I see here that you've been chipping away, or someone around you has been chipping away at those walls. And I feel like you are coming out of a period where you've had to adapt, and the old story that you were telling yourself is no longer conducive to this new timeline, this new energy that you are stepping into. The Seven of Wands is showing up here, where you are living life on your terms, Capricorn. You are living life in a way that feels like you have the upper hand here, instead of feeling like, again, you're walking on eggshells or pins and needles here, or feeling like the pressure is coming in, or the nervous system saying that danger, danger, we got to be in fight or flight at any given moment, because maybe you've endured that or experienced that in the past. I see that you've been working on somatic healing. Many of you have been working on creating a sense of safety and stability within the nervous system, within your own body, and finding calm, finding peace. And if there's things that are happening outside of you, that are outside of your own control, such as other people's reactions, other people's responses, their behaviors. This can be natural disasters. It can be death. It can be anything that goes on outside of us. And the only thing that we can control is how we react and how we respond. That is what I see shifting here for you, where even though there may be some external stressors, right, some mountains, it feels like you are walking through with spiritual clarity. It feels like your inner knowing is guiding you, saying, you will get through this one step at a time, but we have your back. You're not alone. And perhaps loneliness has also been an issue here, because you can see that this Arctic fox, he is adapted to living in the Arctic because that's all he's known. But I see that you have another opportunity here to not live in a dynamic that you've always known. Some of you are wanting to break free because there is a more enjoyable future ahead for you. Now you have the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles is highly respectable. I feel like this could be someone you are attracting. This could be an archetype that you are embodying, or even someone that you currently know. This King of Pentacles is focusing on their stability, their material wealth, their abundance. This energy has worked its way to the top. And I see that you are someone, or you are receiving important information from someone who's very mature, very disciplined here. He is very respectable. And I feel like you also are guided here, Capricorn, to connect to the earth, connect to your senses. And I've been talking a lot about the 5 senses in almost every reading, because that Virgo energy is strong in the month of September here. And what I mean by dropping into the senses, and we can do this for just a moment if you have time, even if you're busy, if you're running, running errands, of course, stop and pause if you're able to. But you can start by taking a big breath in and using your sense of sight to look around and see what's in front of you. Because oftentimes we busy ourselves with our responsibilities in our daily life that sometimes we don't see what's right in front of us. So if you can, in this moment, Capricorn, I want you to just look at what's right in front of you at this time. Maybe you're looking at the video here. Perhaps you're looking in front of you. Maybe you see a wall or a piece of artwork. Maybe there's another individual. Maybe there's your cat or your dog. Just take it all in for a few moments. Next, I want you to drop into your sense of smell. What do you smell? What do you see? What do you taste? What can you touch? What can you hear? So dropping into these senses can have you getting in touch with your body, signaling to your brain, which signals to your nervous system that you are safe to rest, to digest, instead of feeling like you're constantly in that state of fight or flight. So dropping into your senses, getting grounded with your world around you can be very beneficial. Eating more whole foods and getting out, maybe barefoot in the grass if you can, maybe spending some time in nature or with the animals, working with herbs, getting in a garden here. So you can see that this King of Pentacles, very earthy energy, which you are an earth sign, Capricorn. I feel like that is going to be beneficial to kind of help you connect or reconnect with your intuitive knowing. Now you have here the Seven of Swords, and I'm actually getting a bit of a sideways energy from the Seven of Swords because it feels like you're coming to a point where you can fully trust yourself again. You can fully trust in yourself to make decisions that are going to be beneficial for your own stability. Why? Because you've been doing the inner work, because you have been finding ways through somatic healing, maybe connecting to a therapist or whatever you are doing that is working for you. Maybe you're spending some time in mindfulness or meditation. Perhaps you're talking to a trusted loved one or a professional. It feels like you have taken the necessary steps needed to interrupt the patterns that kind of keep playing out over and over in your head. You've done some big healing work. Now it's time to drop the burdens because you have the 10 of Wands showing up here, which can be an overload. If you look at this guy, he is carrying a boulder over his shoulders. In Capricorn, I feel like you have carried a lot. Many of you are the rock of the family. You could be the emotional support, the physical, the mental, the spiritual, especially if you are a caregiver or a parent or you are in a caregiving profession where you are, I don't want to say responsible for many, but it's part of your job description is to take care of others. But you are being guided to look after and take care of your beautiful self. Now, there's another message coming through here with the 10 of Wands. Some of you are pushing. There's like a final push here before you receive this milestone. It reminds me, for those of you who maybe if you've ever given birth, right? Maybe you haven't given birth, but you can imagine here, you go through the laboring process. Sometimes it's 4 hours, sometimes it's 24 hours, right? But in the grand scheme of things, it feels like it's forever. And sometimes, I mean, for you, this could have been months, perhaps years of something that you are working on, working towards creating in your life, this milestone, this accomplishment, this victory, this achievement. And I see here that you have like the final stretch. This is that one big final push before your new world, before that new life emerges. And so I feel like this is also a message of you have what it takes to give this all you got here because you are so close to the finish line. Don't quit before it gets good. Don't quit before this new beginning happens here. And again, for others of you, it feels like you have been already carrying something for quite some time. It's like the baby has been inside for 22 months and you're like, I can't do this, right? I can't do this anymore. So take it as it resonates for you, but I definitely see here that there's a new beginning because 10s are endings that bring in the one energy, the new beginning. And that's about courage. That's about the self. And I see here leadership. Many of you are leaders of your craft. You are here to experience new things. And many of you are highly, highly intuitive. Now, the chakra that is standing out for you this month is the sacral chakra, Capricorn, which is located in our belly button area, about 2 inches below our navel, our reproductive and sexual organs, also included to the lower back region. And this is about creative manifestation. And the message for you, Cap, is this. I have the ability to manifest and create positive outcomes in my life. It is a time for me to manifest what I need. I ask myself, what do I need? I am optimistic and creative in carrying out all of the tasks that come my way, even seemingly mundane ones, and I maintain a positive attitude in all I do. I am open to receiving and I am deserving. That's what Spirit wants you to remember, to create this affirmation as maybe a morning routine. I am open to receiving and I am deserving. Even put it in the comment section below. I'll enter you into the free reading giveaway. I am open to receiving and I am deserving, because you absolutely are. And this is that creative manifestation. This is you giving birth to something here that you've been working hard to heal. You've been working hard to recover and maybe even bring something to final fruition here. So let's take a look at your career, your finances, your abundance. You have the chest card here. The chess is about strategizing. If you've ever played the game of chess, it can't be done in a quick 5 minutes or 10 minutes. This is a game where it may take hours. And again, in the grand scheme of things, for some of you, this could be months, it could be years of working diligently here and using your logical mind to strategize. This is long game. It is long term. This is retirement. This is your future goals. It reminds me of the 10 of Pentacles that you are working towards. So it could be your financial security and goals that you have for not just yourself, but the legacy that you are creating around you. And there's that leader energy, as I mentioned. You are a natural leader of your craft. You're very skilled. You're very talented. You're good at what you do, Capricorn. And I see that there's also resources around you where it feels like some of those resources have been picked away by opposing views or like competition. Perhaps that's a better phrase, like competition here, or competitive energies around you. And it feels like you are still wearing the crown here. There's still something about you bossing up. That King of Pentacles is big boss energy. And I see that you may even have military in your background. Maybe some of you are a veteran, or perhaps you live near a veteran base, or maybe you are, or you've come from a veteran family or military background here. But I see that you are strategizing and thinking long term. Next, you have the gold bar. This is powerful because this is solid finances, Cap. This is investing. Some of you may be investors. And maybe you work in the bank system here. You could be looking at your IRAs, looking at refinancing. This is mortgages, loans. And I see that you are feeling satisfied here, or you're moving into an area where you feel more satisfied with your stability, with what you are investing your time and energy into, because it aligns with your truth, it aligns with your integrity. And that's that Seven of Wands. This is about you standing up for yourself, your beliefs. This is about you being brave and protecting what you have built, what you have created. And again, living life on your own terms instead of feeling closed off or feeling like the abundant flow was closed off. I feel like you're tapping into that wellspring here by choosing to focus on what you can control and leaving the rest to the side. Now you have investments here. Someone could be investing in some gold, or maybe cryptocurrency, or maybe you're investing in the stocks, looking into the market here. This could be investing in a new business, investing in a home. Whatever this is here for you, it doesn't feel like you've made a rash decision. It feels like there's been some fears around it. Maybe this is something that you've been contributing to for your whole life. And there may be concerns about this, but it says here, finances are moving into a state of not only balance, but they're going to increase. That's what I see here, is they are going to increase here. Set a strong foundation. You will see the fruits of your labor pay off. Yes. So I do see here, many of you could even be moving into retirement, but I do see that there is a financial flow that's going to show up here for you. And it's been a little bit challenging. Let's look at time. What do we have for timing here? We have the High Priestess, which is Pisces energy. Pisces is February and March time. So I feel like things are taking place here now for you in September. There are some choices that you're going to be making over the next maybe 6 months, but by Pisces season, it feels like things are really looking on the bright side for you. Okay, you have some really beautiful changes coming in, and I see Pisces season being significant. Now, you have the Hanged Man here. This is waking up. The Hanged Man energy tells me that you have been working through old beliefs. You are saying, I'm not a martyr. I'm not a victim of these circumstances. I am a creator of change, and I am awakening into my highest potential. So any hangups, any delays, any perspective changes that need to take place, I feel like you are aligning your chakras, aligning your energy field towards this change versus resisting it. Because sometimes we do. I like to think of the Hanged Man like we're in a straitjacket. And the first response is when we are in a straitjacket, we're going to struggle to release ourselves. But if we can look at it from many different angles and take a look at the resources that we may have around us or the people that we have around us that can help us get out of a situation, I feel like that's what you're doing here. And this is also about you trusting in spiritual enlightenment, okay, your guides, your angels, your loved ones, but also knowing that we all are living this soul experience through these human forms. And this is the matrix, right? Our life is a divine blueprint that we already knew about prior to incarnating into this lifetime. And every experience is here to help us evolve and to help us learn. And even though we may have gone through heartaches or hardships, that's part of the experience. It's part of our growth, but it's not the entirety of who we are. We are not that pain. We are not that struggle. That it's how we react to the pain and the struggle. That is what you are waking up to. And right below the Hanged Man, you have double aces here. Look at this. You have the Ace of Pentacles and you have the Ace of Cups. So there's your new opportunities coming up. I love that for you. And yeah, within the next month, it feels like there's a lot of awareness. There's a lot of intuitive downloads. And you might start something in the month of September and then feel like it's really starting to move forward by Pisces season of 2026. So let's look here at love. What do we have for love? Maybe partnerships, romance. We do have the clock showing up here. So this tells me that some of you have been in a cycle. Maybe you've needed a little bit of time to heal that beautiful heart of yours. Perhaps someone was not talking to another individual. They needed their own time to grow and to process and to maybe mature. And I see that there's been progression taking place through maybe a separation, because you do have the separation card here, which is about sadness. It's about bitterness. Perhaps you're missing someone. They may be missing you. But I also see that there's been a bit of uncertainty here about your future. Will I connect to someone new? Are we meant to be together? Or is this person happier without me? Or am I going to be alone for the rest of my life? It feels like you have been going back and forth here. Even within that chess piece, I feel like you have separated yourself here, though, from inconsistent energies and things that actually drained you. And what we do is we tend to romanticize the past, or we tend to get caught up in our own fears after we've spent some time away. We think, okay, the loneliness is kicking in, or I haven't talked to this person or seen them in quite some time. Like, was that really, meant to be? Or, how have we grown? So some of you are really addressing how you have grown and wondering here if, there's a possibility of you connecting or bringing someone new into your world, or maybe even reconnecting with someone of the past. But I see the teddy bear here. For those of you that are single, Cap, this looks like you are flirting. You may be putting yourself out there. Maybe someone wants to date you, and you may be saying at this time, like, I got a lot going on. I don't know if I'm interested in dating. But I see here that if you are being honest with someone, if they are truly caring for you, I feel like they are going to listen to you. But ultimately, of course, if the both of you are meant to be, you're going to find a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. And I see that there could be a blooming or budding romance, even if you have a lot on your plate that you're juggling here. And for those of you that are in a marriage or you're in a connection and perhaps things have felt a little bit sour or a little bit stagnant, this could be a month where you're addressing the cracks in the foundation here and trying to mend, try to come together here. There could be a flirtiness between the both of you, or like a second honeymoon, like reconnecting to that adventurous side. There may have been a lot that both of you were carrying. And I see when it comes to love, I feel like the heart is definitely on the forefront for you in the month of September. All right. Lastly, you have here the sustainer. That is your archetype, Capricorn. So I'm going to find this in the guidebook for you. One moment. All right, Capricorn, the sustainer is also known as the peacemaker, the upholder, the preserver. The sustainer, the second archetype in the trio of existence, works behind the scenes, tending to the tasks of life. They cultivate gardens, pay bills, keep the meals warm and the mouths sweetly fed. The sustainer is at peace in the process of life, knowing there is no start or finish to humble yet meaningful tasks. They have a natural inclination to nourish others, to archive, to preserve Earth's resources, to consider environmental impact, to see their role in the divine cycle of life. It's common for the sustainer to become overworked, leading to resentment. Their tasks aren't glamorous, and therefore the sustainer rarely receives the credit or attention. The sustainer longs to hold things in place so badly, especially relationships, that they resist necessary change. Take time with this archetype. It is within us all and needs our love. That is that 10 of Wands energy that's showing up. Contemplate what truly sustains you. Make a list. Notice how simple yet powerful those things are and spend some time tending to them. Take note of the difference between maintaining and sustaining. Which action describes your life more accurately? When this is showing up as the light, this is abundant, it's generous, it's supportive, it is reliable. And when it's showing up, Capricorn, as the shadow, it's overworked, resentful, trapped, and tired. And that's what your reading is about here, right? It is about the fear, the anxiety, the losing sleep, the stress here, and not listening necessarily to the body or listening to your intuition that could be reminding you to slow things down or reminding you to get back into the flow here, to surrender to the changes that are coming through. Oftentimes when I am feeling stuck, it's because I'm resisting change. It's because I am trying to maintain, right? That's where we are being guided to ask, are we maintaining or sustaining? Trying to maintain some sort of sense of stability instead of letting go and letting God, getting truly honest with ourselves, because sometimes that anxiety and those fears can get really loud and we stifle or push down our intuitive knowing. But I see here a big milestone coming through for you, not through pushing, not through, again, there were two different energies that came up. Now, some of you, it's that final push, okay? So I'm going to kind of go back on that here. So take it as it resonates for you. One of you, or some of you, this is that final push of that birthing cycle. And for others of you, as this archetype, the sustainer, mentions, many of you, it's the overburden part. It is the overload that you've been carrying, and perhaps you felt deceived and you're starting to feel a bit bitter. You're starting to feel resentful because you don't feel like you have that support in some way, and you had to go it alone. If you want to go deeper in this energy, check out Lakshmi, Vishnu, or Demeter. Those are energies that can help you. All right, Capricorn, that is what I have for your September 2025 monthly reading. If you are interested in a personal reading or signing up for the monthly newsletter, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video. Lots of love.